Hello and welcome to Criminology Case Files. I am Syazana, Forensic Scientist 1,
and I am Khairunnisa, Forensic Scientist 2. Today we will be presenting our case called
I Didn't See It Coming.
So for our assignment, we were asked to design a perfect crime. But the question is, what is a perfect crime? So by definition, a perfect crime is one that has no suspects, it leaves no evidence, and it is virtually unsolvable.
So these are the facts of the case. A drug addict homeless man was found dead, stabbed in the heart behind a few buildings in a dark alleyway. He was found in the morning, and the time of death was estimated to be about 2 a.m. the previous night. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about the victim. The victim chosen was a homeless drug addict, and there are a few reasons for this choice. First of all, the drug addict should be taken in a high state. So because of this, he would be an easy target and wouldn't put up much of a struggle, hence not really leaving any evidence. Next, a homeless person usually does not have many family members or any more close relationships. So because of this, nobody would go searching for him if he went missing. And lastly, usually in cases of murder of homeless people, they have a lower priority in police investigations. And this would make the case easier for us to get away with murder.
So now we will talk about the second aspect, which is the location. So for our location, we chose a back alley due to several reasons. First of all, because there will be no witnesses to see our crime being done. Secondly, there will be no CCTVs to record our crime. And thirdly, because it is behind a back alley, especially at night, it will be very dark. So this can help us doing the crime.
And the next component we're going to talk about is time. We chose to time the murder at 2 a.m. Maybe a margin of 2 to 4 a.m. would work too. And the reason for this is that in the early hours of the morning, there tends to be no witnesses hanging about in back alleys. And also at 2 a.m. it is pretty dark.
And the last component of the murder case is the murder weapon, which is the most important part of this case. So we chose an icicle for our murder weapon. This is because, first of all, icicles are pretty easy to make. We just need to freeze water in a freezer and then ta-da! That's it. Yep. And then secondly, there will be no traces of DNA on our murder weapon, provided that we wear gloves, which we must. And lastly, icicles melt easily and it also evaporates. So by the time the police find the body in the AM, around 7, which is a few hours after the murder, it will probably already melt and evaporate into thin air.
Now, we have come to the big question.
How? So first of all is the preparation. We have to buy rubber gloves, generic hand towel, and icebox months before we execute our plan. Rubber gloves is to protect our hands and fingers from getting our fingerprints everywhere at the crime scene.
And DNA.
Yes, and DNA. And secondly is the generic hand towel. We use this to gag the mouth of the victim when he screams when we murder him. And the third one is an icebox. This is to put our icicle so that it doesn't melt when we bring it to the back alley. Secondly, we must only use cash when we buy this stuff. This is so that we do not use our credit card, because we can leave a credit card transaction trail if we use it.
The next fact of the case is that we should commit the crime in a town which is not ours. So maybe the one next over or even further away is even better. So the reason for this is that we wouldn't be connected with the crime. And to make our reason for being in that city or town at that time even more solid, is we registered for a convention in that place where we want to commit the crime. So because of this, people will think that we're in that town for this convention and not to murder somebody.
So the second part of the crime is its execution. So we have to wear shoes that are bigger or maybe smaller than usual so that our footprints, if left at the crime scene, it wouldn't be our actual size. And after the execution, the shoes can be burnt or maybe donated to charity.
Just to do some good.
And then the second part is that we make our weapon using a mold. The mold can be made of plasticine or maybe plaster of Paris, and we just fill in water and just freeze it in the freezer. And the third part, we have to wear dark clothing and a beanie to cover our heads so that our hair won't fall at the crime scene.
Next, we need the icebox that was mentioned earlier to store the weapon. And in this icebox, we should also place some dry ice so that the weapon doesn't melt too fast before we get the victim. We will also lure the victim, keeping in mind that he is a homeless person. They are usually quite hungry. So the evil part of this crime is that you will lure the victim with the promise of food in your icebox. And when the victim comes close to you, voila, it's a weapon. The next part is to stab the victim in the heart. It is very fast, not exactly painless, but at least he'll die a little quicker. And the last part is to gag the victim, just in case he screams or makes noise, which could attract other people as witnesses. Next is what to do after you have committed your murder. Basically, don't touch anything. At the crime scene, do not touch anything. Just because you're wearing gloves doesn't mean you can touch stuff. And keep your beanie on so you don't leave any hair. Do not leave any skin fibers. Try not to step in anything that could leave your shoe prints. So stay on the tar.
Don't move the body. Do not move the body. Just leave it there.
And just leave the icicle, it's fine, it'll just melt away.
Secondly, we should dispose of all evidence that are connected to us, which is the icebox, shoes, clothes, and gloves. You can dispose of them by burning them. You can just destroy them with a hammer. You can give them away after, maybe not give them away, just destroy them. And then lastly is you leave town and resume your life as per usual.
After you enjoy your convention.
So after our discussion just now, we will be presenting our theories regarding the crime that we just committed. The first theory is neoclassical criminology. Neoclassical criminology states that people choose their behaviors based on the perceived outcomes with the goal of maximizing their gain and minimizing their resources and output to achieve their goals. It also states that potential offenders choose what type of offense to commit and when. Regarding the case just now, the offender chose to commit the crime, which is murder, and when is at night. He also chose to use the icicle, which is the least risk and cost, and it doesn't cost so much in doing the crime. So this brings us to rational choice theory.
Now, rational choice theory, as we understand before, emphasizes on your individual character. It sticks to the principle that we as human beings are responsible for our own actions. And because of this, rational choice theory goes against the positivist school of thinking, where rational choice theory states that human behavior is not determined by economic, socialization, or even genetic needs. So because of this, we are all responsible for our actions, and any deficiencies in these three areas can be overcome by taking responsibility for our actions. As a continuation of the rational choice theory, it is directly linked to the neoclassical criminology theory, where it assumes that people freely make the choice whether to break the law or not. Now in this case, offenders will make two decisions. The first is whether to commit an offense, and as we presented earlier, the offender did. And the second is what type of offense to commit. And as we presented, of course, we presented a case of cold-blooded murder. The crime, murder. Our victim was a homeless drug addict. And lastly, our location was the back alley at night with no witnesses. Okay.
So this diagram is the concept of rational choice theory, where the crime is linked by the crime itself, which is the murder, the victim, which is the homeless drug addict, and the location, which is the back alley at night. Besides that, the murderer should have a knowledge and technique to kill the person. So as for our murderer, he knew that he could kill someone using an icicle and it wouldn't be easily traced back to him. So the last theory that we will be talking about is the psychological theory, which is under it is a subclass which is psychopathy. So psychopaths have no regard for truth and feelings of others. Besides that, they have trouble empathizing with others and comprehending basic rules of society. This can be seen in our case where the murderer just killed the victim without feeling guilty at all.
In the case of criminal psychopaths, they tend to show violent, sadistic, and even brutal behavior, and this may lead to murder for fun. As we discussed earlier, the offender decided to commit the murder, and as an intellectual experiment to see if he can get away with it and just for the thrill. And with that, it brings us to the end of Criminology Case Files. I am Syazana Azman.
And I'm Khairunnisa Shafee.
And thank you.